Hello, guys. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, good. All right, finally. Oh my goodness, it took me forever to go live over there on Insta. Hello, hello. How is everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? How's everybody living? I know I have been absentee. I ain't been around. Y'all, like, what in the world happened to this here woman? Some of y'all may remember that at the beginning of August, had a car accident with a Lyft driver here in Greensboro. And I'm still recovering. I might not look on the outside like there's a lot going on, but baby, there's a lot going on. So I am still in the midst of recovering. I'm still going to the chiropractor, still dealing with back issues. I'm still recovering. So very much do apologize. Um, we're gonna do the best that we can. Okay, we're gonna do the best that we can. Y'all leave me some hearts because sure if y'all can hear me, if everything is going well. So leave me some hearts, please, and we're gonna get into this here Diddy thing and the things of the things. Okay, we're gonna get into this Diddy thing and the things of the things. I'm gonna put down here. I'm gonna put my banner down here. Let me see if I can find the banner that I wish to use. I don't want those. I want one of these. All right, we're gonna have a banner down there. So everything and everything that I'm stating is my opinion. Um, we're gonna put any scandalous acts are alleged because we do have an indictment. There are some things we've seen video proof of that to me ain't really alleged. But everybody is, of course, innocent until they are proven guilty. And so Diddy at this point has not been proven guilty. He has not had his day in court. But as I was going through some past uh, live streams that I've done in regard to Diddy, looking at his chart and everything, because everybody keeps telling me that I made mention that this was going to happen in the fall. That he was going to be indicted and arrested in the fall, but I can't find it, y'all. So if somebody remembers that, please let me know. Hey, Marquita, how are you? Hey, Adrienne. Hello, Coach Leslie. Good evening. Hello, Renee. Hello, EMC Experience. You guys let everybody know that Heart is on tonight. Heart is definitely on tonight, and we're going to get on into it now. I'm sure that you all have by now, because there's been so many places that have discussed the indictment. I'm sure y'all have seen it. I do want to, though, review a couple things because it's going to make a tad bit of a difference in what we're seeing, what we're hearing, and whatnot. Hopefully, let me see if I can. Can I blow this bad boy up? I don't know. You know what? Let me take this down. I'm going to not present this. Let me take this. Let me remove this, bring myself back, and I'm going to share my screen this way because that way I can blow up uh, this situation. So we're going to blow this up a little bit. Now, there's some things I want to go through, and then we're also going to we're going to look at his chart again. We're going to talk about whether or not we think he's going to take a plea deal. I'm going to pull some cards. I do have, when it's crucial, I pull out the Game of Thrones deck. So I do have the Game of Thrones deck here. But also I want to talk about too, and maybe this is where we'll start. I want to talk about the energy of a narcissist and why I feel like people may be supporting him to as much of a degree as they are. It's just shocking to me how people are either silent or they're supportive. It doesn't make any sense to me in the least little bit why they are silent and or supportive. And I think part of it we're going to get to see. um so let me just kind of put this up here. So this is the person. Ooh, no, I want to do this that we're talking about today, Mr. Diddy. That is his mugshot. I am shocked and dismayed at what I see in the silence and what I have seen in people being supportive of him. Now, I'm not saying that nobody should. I'm not saying anyone should want the worst for him or anything like that, but understand what I'm saying. I'm literally seeing X's and tweets or whatever from people that are, oh, he's not a criminal. And this is men and women. I'm seeing random women just like, oh, he's not a criminal. Nothing he did was criminal. They're all consenting adults. Lady, what are you talking about? We kind of went through this. I honestly, I guess I thought wrong. I honestly thought that once that video hit of Cassie, of what he did to Cassie, maybe it's in that video. I thought that once that video of what he did to Cassie in that hotel came out, I thought certain that we were not going to have a bunch of women and or men coming out and victim blaming and coming out and saying that Cassie chose this life, and yes, she chose to be with him. Yes, we have heard, allegedly we have heard that he um that she laughed at him and all this, the fourth and the fifth. At laughed at Kim when Kim was being hello over there on Insta. Hello everyone. How you doing? How are you doing? Um, I thought that once that happened, that we would not see as many people coming out and just being like, oh, well, she chose this, she deserved it. Like, I've seen people talk about she deserved it and this, that, and the other. And to me, the reason why I'm talking about this, not just because it's in the news, but it fascinates me how people can be so blinded by a narcissist, how they can be so enamored, how they can be, especially with celebrity, how they can be so enamored with a narcissist, how they can be blinded by a narcissist, how they can fall underneath their spell and remain underneath their spell. It shocks me to no end, and I'll tell you why it shocks me, because we all at this point, right? We should have a good sense and understanding of who we're talking about, of what a narcissist is, what a narcissist does, how a narcissist goes on these smear campaigns, how narcissists go, on these rants and whatnot, how narcissists will not only make the victim feel like they're the perpetrator, but they put on this whole facade. And how in the world is it that some people still are under this narcissist spell? And I'm sure some of them will even say, well, lady, he's not a narcissist. Yeah, he is. And he's probably kind of the worst kind, because he is a victimizing, violent one. Now, I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist, so, I can't clinically diagnose anybody. So let me just say he has all the narcissistic traits. He's got all the markings of a predator, of one that honey, that will make you think that the moon rises and sets in you, but then only to turn it around on you and then make it seem like it's all your fault. And he utilized fame and fortune. Hey, Volvo to love, hello. He's utilized his fame, his fortune, and his power to keep people trapped in this cycle, all to satisfy his own predilections. Now, back in, when did I do this video? When did I do this here video? The video that is, let me, I'm pulling up the, okay, I gotta find it. I did a video, Diddy rated and running. Diddy rated and running. Let me see here if I can bring it up on my channel. Let me find it. Diddy rated and running. Here is the link. I'm gonna drop it in the chat over here. On the YouTube, it's on March 25th on my YouTube channel for Instagram. Um, Diddy rated and running. And then here's the link. I'm dropping it in the chat. In that video, I talked to an extensive amount um about his chart. We reviewed his chart extensively then. And we're going to pull his chart up again real quick. Vogel says that picture looks like the evolution of man. Yeah, it does look kind of, well, yes, it does. That's all I'm going to say about that one right there. But we're going to take him down. We don't need to see him. We're going to, but what I will do is let me bring up this chart. So I'm going to put the chart up here. Stop the screen share, and then we're going to present another screen. I talked at great length about his chart, and I want to review the chart with you again because, and I'm going to look at this now and see, we're going to see here whether or not, here I got to go to the window. Here we go. Okay, here we go. I'm going to make myself small. Okay, we're going to look at the chart and we're going to kind of see. Now, I don't have his exact time of birth. So if somebody can find out his exact time of birth for me, that would be absolutely amazing. But we're going to look here and see if I can kind of get any more from this. I will say that before we do see this finger of God, this yod here, and this is a very interesting triangular. There's a lot of trines, there's a lot of oppositions, there's a lot of squares, but we do have this kind of pointing here, this opposition of Mercury and the sun. And the sun is a lot looser, but this is a dead on opposition of Mercury in Scorpio with Saturn in retrograde in Taurus. Now, again, because I don't have his precise time of birth, and if anybody can find that out, I would love to have it, because that will give me an idea about what we're looking at for houses. I can just tell you though that Saturn retrograde in Taurus, um, has been a lot of instability in his life. However, that the seeking for stability and the wanting to go against the grain, the wanting to go against the man, let's just say, wanting to go against um, the status quo, or go against what everyone, societal norms and everything, um, that instability that's there, because Saturn is our structure, and that's also father figure. Now, my understanding is his father was gang mob somehow, right? Like he did not, his father wasn't exactly the best. That's what if I understand. If I'm wrong, I want y'all to please correct me in either chat. But what I believe that we see, and that we're finding out, that we already know, right, is that he did not necessarily have the best upbringing. And because he didn't have the best upbringing, um there was not a stable father to show him that fatherly love. Also, that tells me that he did not have a lot of, let's just say, um, good, solid structure in how to handle what his wants, needs, and desires were, especially the deep desires. Mercury in Scorpio is, if you may remember, when I did that other video that I put in the chat over in let me see if I can copy this, guys. Um, that I put over in the it's Diddy Rated and Running. It was on March 25th on my YouTube channel. I'm highlighting it so you guys can see it over there in on Instagram as well. That Mercury in Scorpio tells me, and so close to the sun, within 8 degrees. So it's just barely in conjunction. It really is kind of outside, the smaller planets, the personal planets, we usually say about 5 degrees. So I'm going to call it a very loose conjunction with the sun, but a scorpionic sun with a scorpionic um, Mercury. And then we also have a Neptune and Scorpio way up further. But those two together can really mess with your brain, mess with your mind. You can believe that it can give you over to delusion. It can also give you over to not being able to really tell people how you're really feeling, to really being able to express yourself. You can end up having dark and deep desires that you don't know what to do with. And then when we couple that with Saturn in retrograde in Taurus, now we have a situation where, given the right ideas being planted, Mercury, given the right ideas being planted in one's brain, okay, that now there is no, you've unleashed a beast. Okay. And so now here we are, and we're unable and incapable of really exercising any control because no one has really given him a solid foundation upon which to structure his life. Am I excusing this? Not at all. But I've been watching some things, like I've been watching Gene Deal, think what you want to about Mr. Deal, and I've been watching other, and it occurs to me, even when I'm watching early clips of Diddy when he first came on the scene. Um, and he was kind of nerdy. As far as the hip hop gang went, he was nerdy. Remember he was a college kid too. There was a lot of college kids and very educated kids that came out during that era, in this hip hop era. The era where gangster rap was first kind of starting, but it still was kind of, you know what I'm saying? It was fluid. This, MTV era. So he was kind of nerdy. It wasn't like anybody really thought, he was like gangsta, and it just, we didn't think that. We didn't have any reason to think that. It wasn't until, but what we didn't know what was going on behind the scenes. And I think that in fact, I'm positive that there were so many influences on him. And when he started getting a taste, because he had a little bit more in the way of intelligence and in the way of, book smarts, that he was able to like kind of tap into the business part of it, and people realized he was kind of the weak link. Like, I cannot ever see Biggie or Tupac ever going down this same road of doing this to these women, utilizing workers to this degree, applying, giving people so many like psychedelic substances, forcing them to do these acts until they basically needed IVs the next day. The the physical DV, I can't see them being a part of this. Not to this degree. Do I think Biggie was a saint? Absolutely not. Do I think Tupac was a saint? No. Probably a little bit closer. I mean, we know that Biggie did some things that he shouldn't have done, but I can't see it being to this degree. So to me, what happened, and we talked about that in this video that there was a time period, and I'm going to kind of bring up my transcript here so I can see it. There was a time period here where we were talking about how he got into like the dark arts and things like that. And that this Neptune, let me go back to this window, this Neptune here in Scorpio, in that last decan at a very powerful degree, that's going to give him over to be interested in the dark arts or susceptible to someone teaching him about those things. So if you remember, we have heard from various sources that there's a strong possibility and or probability that that Kim Porter had seen some things, and she had seen some rituals and seen some things happen, and she just wasn't going to be involved in these things. You know what I mean? And so because of that, then here we are. And then that's what I mean, I personally believe. I always thought from day one when it happened that it was at somebody else's hand. Now I'm not going to say who, but I believe it was at somebody else's hand. So I believe that he got caught up in all of these things. And what happened is that here, basically, the dark arts and the dark rituals, the blood magic, all of that, this gave rise to him kind of believing the hand of God was on him, right? That the hand of God was on him, whatever God you want to. And so his belief system would not let him out of it. And then we have this Mars at 29 degrees Capricorn, almost in Aquarius. And that in and of itself is so disruptive. Like, you want to always be the disruptor. You don't want things to be settled. You don't want things, and everything's got to be my way. Very aggressive in structure, in control, in mind control, body control. Capricorn is an earth sign. He needs to control people's bodies. He needs to control people's bodies. So we talked about a lot of this the last time, and it looks to me like no matter when he was born, he's definitely going to have this Virgo moon that is going to sextile, or it's going to kind of agree with this sun, right? And then it's going to trine this Saturn in retrograde. What does that mean? That basically his emotions are just driven. Virgo is also a very sensual sign, right? It is another earth sign and mutable. So his desires, his predilections, I'm not shocked. We're not shocked that it went the way that it did. I'm just going to be honest. So you want to go there and look at all that. Now, let me also tell you this, though. What this tells me here. So we've got this. He's trying to figure out his way out of it. Hello, Cericia. Hello, Adrian. Hello, Jace. Hello, everyone. This in Scorpio is telling me here that there's a plot and a plan going on. We got a plot and a plan. And he's not trying to release it and let it go. He is definitely not trying to release it and let it go. So he's trying to figure out how he's going to get his way out of it. And he's also like, oh no, I'm not going down by myself. Here we have Venus and Jupiter in Libra, which I find quite interesting as well. And we have Uranus in Libra. So he has a stellium in Libra. He has a stellium in Scorpio. He not quite in Virgo. So this stellium in Libra and the stellium in Scorpio, especially um this one here, I think that he is going to end up seeking out some sort of a deal. And I think that he is going to seek to give some people up. Now you're hearing it here. I don't know if you've heard it anywhere else. First, I'm going to tell you why. Venus and Jupiter in Libra, in the combination with this mess going on up here and this right here, he ain't going to take this lightly. He ain't going to take this laying down. He's not going to just, he's going to be like, you know what? I wasn't the only mother trucker that had anything to do with this mess here. I wasn't the only one. I wasn't even one of one. Do you understand what I'm saying? I was not the only one, and I was not one of one. So I don't know why these people just acting like, they had nothing to do with it. Now, right now, initially, I think from what we also understand and from what we got gathered from both of the bail hearings, he'd been doing what he needed to do to try to get people, you know, in his to speak up on his behalf, and you really don't need to say nothing, and you need to drop this suit. Notice that it came out. Notice he got picked up right after Dawn Richards put hers out. She filed her lawsuit where she's like, listen, I seen it all. And not only did I see it, such and such a so and such a so and so was there when it happened. When the putting on the hands of putting hands on people had happened. That's a very powerful statement for somebody to make. And Dawn Richards she been problematic. We ain't got no problem with Dawn. Right? So he was trying to make sure that, he was trying to line things up and make it right, and see if he could convince some people not to say anything. That, my friends, is called witness interference and or witness intimidation. I would not recommend doing that, no matter if you're facing federal or state charges. However, this is what he did. Now, these two things, what I was just talking about, now Venus and Jupiter are literally sitting on top of one another. So he keeps getting this gift of, I get to stay out. Right? He's gotten this gift of kind of delayed justice. But he's going to be seeking to give some sort of a deal. So then the question becomes, does he Abba Francois says, yes, he will take the whole industry down. I do believe that is the truth. Thank you over on Instagram. I appreciate you. I do believe that is the truth. There were too many. Let me see if I can find here on X. Hold on. Let me see here. People that I know, there was a whole list of people yesterday. It had come out of the people that had resigned after Diddy had come out, or after Diddy had gotten arrested, like within hours. I could have sworn I kept it. God dang it, son of a biscuit. There are a lot of people that, that resigned as soon as he got arrested. Okay. Now, there was like a music executive. There was a few other, folks that like left their post as soon as, because they got to get they're gonna try to dip. I wouldn't be surprised how many people ran off to Bali and all that kind of stuff, just trying to stay out the way. But what I don't understand is like Faison and all these people that are just running around here. This ain't funny. And Boosie and all these. This ain't funny. This is not just some small thing. But anyway, um he's way too you do not do these things without help. He's not in the same situation at like a oh gosh, Mr. Kelly. He's not in that same situation where he can't read, it can't comprehend. Mr. Kelly is illiterate. And that, I'm not even trying to be funny, like he literally can't read. So there's no way that he was going to be able to orchestrate all of that on his own, right? But by the same token, you can't orchestrate this with all these powerful people and have all of this equipment and have all of everything that he was doing without nobody ever touching you. And like we've heard from Lil Rod's from his affidavit and others, how there were red rooms that were covered up and all these things. And if anybody's wondering why I'm saying it in this way, is because if I say it the other way, YouTube probably will not like me. um so you don't do that with these powerful people. And because he was already doing all this witness, allegedly doing this witness interference, they could not afford for him to really get that nervous. So, you know, it was time. Go on and pick him up. Actually, I think that they didn't want any more lawsuits to come out either. Like, they wanted to scoop him up. Now, I'm also concerned that he may be Epstein. Right, Teresa? I agree. That is a concern. Do I see that in his chart? Let's see what we see in the chart. Let's see what we see in the chart. I really wish I knew. Uh, but I will tell. I mean, I wish I knew the houses. I will tell you this though, because we have now Neptune. If you might recall, rules Pisces. I'm a little more thinking he may not. We're gonna pull some cards on that. But I'm thinking that is kind of giving me a bit of hope that he won't. But he's in a bad, I mean, he's in MDC, guys. It's not cute. It's not cute. So he's not exactly in the safest jail, the detention facility. He is in the same detention facility that Mr. Kelly was in while he was awaiting his trial. And if this goes to trial, it'll be very speedy. It's going to go quick. That's what also leads me to believe that he's going to attempt to strike a deal. Once he gets over the narcissistic injury that he's actually gotten arrested, so give him a few days, maybe even give him a week or two. He's still plotting, planning. He's still trying to figure out which one of his secrets is good enough for a deal. Absolutely. And that consortium are the people that have more power than he does. The real people with power, right? Thank you, hun. So He's trying to figure out who he can give up to lessen his sentence. If y'all remember, though, do y'all remember the wild card in this? As I said, that his sons, both of his sons, but definitely Justin was going to be arrested as well. I'm still standing by that. And I said in that video that I linked in the chat, you'll be able to get it on the replay. Um, on March 25th was a live I did on YouTube. And I said in that video that he's going to have to make a decision whether or not he wants to sacrifice himself for his sons or not. And I think that that's the decision he's going to have to make. So his sons may or may not get arrested. I think that they will. But I do believe that there's going to be some sort of deal that's going to get cut, perhaps to keep them out. I do believe that there is the potentiality, of course, for an indictment to come down rather quickly. They just have to decide, do they really want them, or is he going to give up what he needs to give up and basically sacrifice himself for his sons? So we will see how much he loves them. That's not, I'm not trying to be funny. I ain't trying to be cute. This is all alleged, as my banner says. This is my opinion. I don't have any facts to back it up. But I that Neptune and Scorpio does bother me a little bit. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Let me see what Neptune and Scorpio. Here we go. I'm just going to give you a little bit of what I see here. Neptune and Scorpio can mean a focus on the deepest and most hidden aspects of honesty, truth, and intimacy. It can also mean a desire to share the truth with others to create more meaningful relationships. It is the planet of inspiration, creativity, spirituality, and mysticism, which is why I said into the dark arts. It can also represent dreams, illusion, fantasies, and the subconscious. So I'm telling you, that this coupled with the psychedelics has made him completely paranoid. But he desired to actually understand more about himself and spirituality. And I'm telling you, over time, he really felt that he was God, or that he was a God. I talk on this channel sometimes about us being gods and goddesses, about us being divine beings, but not the supreme divine being, of course, not creator, but that us being divine beings. I feel like this ended up taking him, like these placements, and then it was fueled, that it ended up taking him to this incredibly deep and dark place. Neptune and Scorpio can also create non-attachment. So it can create a very detached, unemotional, unemotional individual, aka strong narcissistic tendencies. Again, I am not a psychologist, psychiatrist. I can't diagnose the man. I'm just telling you what I see. It's also going to give him incredibly strong psychic abilities. It has made him irrational, negative, scheming. So, very desensitized. So this is again why he was so desensitized, or one reason why he was so desensitized to other people's pain. Now, as far as does it signal, I would, God, I want to know what time he was born. Man, I want to know what time he was born. Um, I don't necessarily feel like it's signaling a short life. But I'm telling you what I do feel like it signals. He gonna take some people down with him. He is the holder of some deep secrets. He is the holder of some deep secrets. And trust and believe there's going to be some people on the outside. And I wouldn't doubt if he's doing some stuff on the inside, but there's people on the outside that are doing some things for him. They're doing some work for him. So I believe he's going to try to cut a deal. I believe he's going to give. This bothers me whether or not he's going to give up somebody that he claims that he loves or that claims that he loves him, that love him. I'm very concerned about that. I'm very concerned about whether or not he's going to give up. That Venus and Libra, man. I just don't. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't know that I trust that he's going to protect anybody that he has claimed to love or loved ones. So I would suggest any of his quote unquote loved ones that may have something, y'all better run to the y'all better run. Y'all are civilians, so ain't no snitching. So go ahead on to do what you got. That's just me. Okay, you ain't gonna get me. You don't catch me up. But he's going to bring it down. So this right here, remember what I talked about? How this rage against the machine, rage against the status quo, rage against the man. That's where that's going to come out. So he's going to tell the dark secrets. I do feel like he's going to cut a deal, or at least make an attempt to. All right. Let's do a couple more things, guys, because I know y'all have seen this indictment like everywhere. So we're going to ask the tarot a few questions. If y'all have any questions, though, that you would like me to ask, I know I'm not on X right now. I need to go pop over there, see if anybody's over there. If y'all have any questions y'all would like for me to ask, please drop it in the comment section, either over here on YouTube, on X, or on Instagram. The first question, though, I am going to ask is, oh boy. What dare I ask? I'm hearing 6 months before he actually kind of goes to prison. So this is gonna, or before the moves are being made. It's gonna be between now and 6 months from now. That's when we're going to really see some major movement in this case. The next dominoes are gonna fall within the next 6 months. That's what I'm hearing very, very clearly. So that's when we'll start knowing. So y'all that were in on this with him, y'all be able to have y'all Christmas, because it's going to take him at least through Christmas to figure out this ain't really what it's about. It's going to take him through Christmas. Is his mother Janice culpable in any of this? All right. Thank you, Sarisa, for that question. Is his mother Janice culpable in any of this? Ooh. What have we got? I have the Moon. I have the 7 of Cups. And I have the 8 of Swords. She knows a lot of the secrets. She knows a lot of the secrets. She's confused as to how this all happened. She knows she can't say what she wants to say. So culpable, that's a pretty strong word. She knows the secrets. She's like kind of sitting here going, where did I go wrong? I should have done this different. I should have done that different. I should have kept him away from this. I should have kept him away from that. I also feel like she's blaming the wrong people. So, however, I don't want to speak that on her. I'll just say that from that line, that it appears that that's, again, how this blood magic, dark arts, ritual stuff, some of it came in through that side, yeah, through that heritage. She feels very trapped. It's kind of like she doesn't, you know how some people say, I don't know how to pray. She doesn't even know what to say. And she knows she can't say too much because it's going to put herself in danger. And it could honestly put her son in further danger than what he's already in. Because there is a tad bit. There is, because what people are afraid of is the people, the powers that be, what they are afraid of course, is that he will start singing. Okay. Hey, Red Violet, how are you, dear? That's a great question. That was a great question. Any other questions you guys have? So again, I'm hearing by 6 months. So this is September, right? This is the ninth month. Um, so by March, which would make sense, Aries season. Um, by Aries season, we'll know. We'll have heard he's singing. Ooh, baby. Also a also one of his fellow New Yorkers that does a lot with the NFL right now as far as arranging for Super Bowl performances and so on and so forth. March 2025. I'm doing well. Thank you, Red Violet. March 2025. March 2025. Eight of Cups. That marriage will split. Oh, oh, Two of Cups. That marriage with that particular mogul and his uh, very famous wife. His era of manipulation will be over. He'll be exposed as well. There's other moguls though that if they don't, they may decide to go on and pass away. So there's other leaders in this group that may decide to give up the ghost, let's just say, and go on, right? Kind of transition so that they don't end up behind bars. There's this is, I feel like, yeah, this is the nine of coins. This is, again, I feel like this the music producer's wife, who is a singer, an entertainer. Yeah, she's gonna be single. She's gonna be able to sing Single Ladies on her own. So that's just one of them that's gonna go. Because they were very, and if that will be interesting to see if she ends up going down with it, because I'm not sure how much of with it she was. I'm hearing that there was some knowledge of it because there had to be some sacrifices made in order to get to the level that we got, but I don't want to speak on that too much. What else do I need to know? Will he take down music executives as well? Will there be music executives implicated as well? Will there be music executives implicated as well? Will there be music executives implicated as well? Yep, the magician, that's a definite yes. Oh, he's going to make some magic happen. She was married to a man that worked for Frank Lucas, a drug lord. So he was, yes, yes, that's what I knew. Yeah. So he was in that world. However, he was by far the most nerdy, the most educated of this group. But he knew of the streets, but he wasn't a street ninja. I mean, I'm not sure how young you are, but I'm of that age. I remember when this ninja came out. He wasn't all that. We was like, who is this nerd? You know what I'm saying? And then, then it became something. He really got to his fame was catapulted once he once Biggie died. Once Biggie was gone, because then we had, every step you, every move you make, I'll be missing you. We had that come out, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, then he's all of a sudden out front. Cause we weren't checking for him. We was not checking for. I need somebody that's in my age group to were we were not. See, Red Violet agrees with me. Exactly. He did seem very intelligent. Yeah, thank you, Red Violet. See, she old enough. She we of a certain age. We wasn't checking for Diddy. Matter of fact, he was still Puffy. He was Sean Combs. We wasn't checking for him. Not until Biggie was gone. Not until Biggie was gone. Okay, so we're gonna have executives. Let me tell you guys something. It's interesting because I see CD. Please do not put the name in the chat. Have y'all ever seen and heard the stories of the Roman? It'd be Roman emperors or um, even just generals on the battlefield and stuff like that in wars, where they might have a cyanide pill like spies, or they might have some sort of poison pill that they take so they don't get captured. That it's better to extinguish your own life than get captured. I feel very strongly that we're going to see some untimely passings. Shocking. When there's when it's there, it lays dormant, and the power and money can trigger what's in you. This is true, Candace. Yeah, so we're about the same age. I I'm not going to say that it was not dormant, because we all have a certain amount of dormancy in us of things. I'm just going to say that we wasn't checking for him. And I don't even think that this really got this bad until he really started getting a lot of money, a lot of power. He started getting like iffy when, he's dating J Lo and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. He will get served up to justice, but I think I think that he's going to cut a deal, and that there's bigger people that are out here that need to be dealt with. Let me see. Will Justin be arrested? Three of Spears, that would be, well, that's interesting. Give me another card. Justin could end up being a bit of a traitor. Nine of Swords. Or he could end up, is he going to get picked up? Five of Coins left out in the cold. Yeah, that's let me tell you, Justin is a toss up for me. I think it's going to get threatened. And he might not, it might take him getting picked up. It might take him getting picked up before a deal is cut. Before anybody starts singing like a bird. I don't know. Oh, you meant CD. I don't know if he's going to get it. I don't know. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to come look at the chart, talk a little bit about why these people may or may not. But we're going to talk a little bit more about how people get sucked into narcissist. Oh, wow. Yeah, that was tough. Will Brashear get justice for what was done to him? It's going to be a long time coming. Nine of Spears. That's the Nine of Wands. It's not going to be. It's going to take a long time, and it's going to be slow coming. Christian is more like his father, but for some reason, I feel like them getting Justin is going to shock Diddy into doing something. Shock Diddy into doing something. They're really after. Yeah, Christian might. Ace of Coins. There's a good chance he would. But I just feel like for whatever reason, because Justin really didn't have much to do with it. Like I think they're going to threaten Justin with picking him up. But Christian is a possibility. It's really going to depend on how good of a deal he cuts. It's going to depend on how good of a deal he cuts. All right, gang. Listen, like I told everybody at the beginning of this, I'm still recovering. He does know a lot. I'm still recovering from this injury and car accident and stuff. So I need to limit my time on sitting down. So I wanted to come hang out with you guys for about an hour. I'm trying to rearrange things during the daytime. So I might start going live during the day, or you might just kind of start seeing a little bit more in the way of pre recorded videos, and we'll just drop them. Okay. Just so that I can manage what's happening with my back. Okay. So I don't want, yeah, Justin does know that. I don't want you guys to think I don't love you anymore. I just haven't been able to sit down and do anything. Yeah. That's okay. All right, guys. All right, I'm going to get on out of here, okay, gang? I will take care of myself. It has been fun. It's been a while since we've been together. It's been a while. All right, guys. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you guys. Namaste. Bye.